Hello, hello. The gremlins have been at work again. 3 times trying to connect all the devices together, but we're back. So that's good. And I'm ready to crack on. So hopefully we'll have some bods come in and say hi. So tonight I'm using the same set as I used last week. Sunday I wasn't here. I was travelling back, didn't get back till 11 o'clock. So unfortunately we didn't make it on. But hey, I might do 2 this week to make up for it. So let me get you down onto the table and you can see my little pinkies here. So I've got a really nice card. I'm using the same bundle. I'm going to use Petal Park. I'm using the Sentimental Park for the sentiments only. That's all. No, take that back. I'm using Thank You. So I'm using the Thank You from Simply Fabulous. Using this little one in here. Okay. So yeah, we're not using that one tonight. But we're using this one. I want to show you, you're going to have double whammy tonight because you're going to see the cards I did at the show at the weekend. Hi Shaz, lovely, and Carol, lovely to see you. So yeah, you're going to have double whammy. I've got a nice fancy fold for you tonight, but then I'm also, if I remember at the end, just remind me to put the comments up. I'm going to remind you the card that I did for the swaps, for the make and takes at the weekend at the show. Okay, so let's crack on. Hello, Xana's over on YouTube. I can see because you're in red and the others are in blue. Let's crack on. So a fancy fold tonight. We're going to have this one here. I'm not quite really sure what this is actually called. It reminds me of a Z fold because if you take this to pieces, you remember this size on its side, this is a Z fold. Okay, so if you take that on its side and you can do a Z fold. I had somebody do this the other day on a Z fold and you can turn it inside out. If you actually put it upside down, we turned it inside out and turned it over and whatever. And we played silly games with it. So this is one that I'm making for, oh, hi there, we've got more people joining, excellent. So this one is going to be slightly different because it's going to be an upside down one and it's going to come in there like so. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that. And like I say, this panel here was very similar to what we used on our make and take at the weekend. So I'm going to crack on. I do have a Stamparatus here. I'm going to show you a couple of techniques on that as well, because Wednesdays I tend to be a little bit longer on the lives, but not always. So I'm saving a little bit of time today. I've cut my base card to 29 by 10.5, a little bit shorter than normal because we want to divide it in half and half again. So I'm going to have this at 14.5, I believe I did. Let me just check on the other one. So just see what, I'm sure it's 29.5. Yep, so we're going to score it halfway is 14.5. Just making the even numbers divisible. And so this one is going to be 7.25. You've seen me do this before and I've gone using the full size and I've gone 7.4. But this one I'm using some measurements that we had already from a tutorial share that I was taking part in. And this one was actually made by my lovely friend Gina. Those of you who know Gina over in Ireland. So this was her share. So I have done my Z fold and it could also be an easel fold. Okay, it's like an upside down. Yeah, it's back to front, but it's still the same kind of mechanism because you can fold this one back and then it becomes a Z fold. You can do it this way and it becomes an easel, but we're going to do it again slightly differently tonight. I'm going to have it upside down because this is going to be folded on the outside. Okay, like so. Okay, as again, to cut out some time, I have cut some layers for you. So we're going to have a couple of these panels from the Scallop Contours. Now, they're beautiful dies. They are one of my go-tos. So I'll just quickly give you an insight in here. So the Scallop Contours, take those black ones out. This one is the one we're using, just the second largest, okay? I didn't actually buy the set that went with it. I've just bought it for the border and the scallops. Love them, absolutely brilliant. But I've cut those out ready. So get those ones out of the way. Excuse me. The reason I'm showing you those first, we're going to put them out of the way. But my base layers to go in here, we're going to layer in here first. Okay, so we're going to put 2 layers. And you know, I'm going to bring you closer because you seem to be a million miles away. Okay, just get you a little bit in there, like so. Up there. There we go. So the reason I've shown you two is because that's what we did with it. So we took the middle out. We've gutted the middle. Okay, so let's get some adhesive on the back here first. There you go, down this side here and across the bottom. And the tweezers are to hand ready. I'll turn him over. And this is just going to go nicely in there, just making a little layer for us. Okay. There we go. And the white one is going to get textured. Now, I've got my embossing folder here. I'm going to cut ahead and just pop this little layer on the front while I'm doing those, because we're going to then emboss the two layers that are going to sit over the top of it. Okay, so these are just taking it down half a centimetre each time. It does make great cards, Joy. It's fabulous. I'm so pleased I got it. And then I bought this one first because it's a punch bundle. We love punches, don't we? And then I did wonder about using the, I should have done that actually. I wondered about using this one because it goes with the papers nicely. I'll bring this on and just show you those papers. I'm sure you're regulars, you've all been with me, but this is what I loved about this one. The blues in there and the mango. But that was just bringing out that little hint. I will make one with that, I'm sure I will. But for time being, we're just choosing the blues tonight. And then these two are going to be embossed. So the folder that went with this in the product medley in here. So we have all of these products in these two sets. So I have used the Cane Weave embossing folder. Okay, so that's this one here. And just to run those through. So we'll bring the big shot back up. I've got the big one tonight because its embossing folder won't go, this embossing folder won't go through the mini. So take that out. Because this fills it, I can't do two pieces in one go, so I'll just pop that one in there. With the Cane Weave, you kind of want to make sure it's definitely straight because there are lines on it, and it'll look like it's going skew if not. Hi Linda, lovely you could join me. Feels like I've only seen you yesterday. And I saw Jane on there as well. Feels like I've only seen you this morning. One of those days, isn't it? Yeah. So Celebration is all gone, all done and dusted. And a big thank you to everybody who placed their orders, and some of my team who've, a new team come along and some rejoins come along. So it's been a busy old time, especially last night because it seemed to be a run all at the last minute. So these two pieces are going to be stuck on here. Now, if you look, I do want to show you the front and back. So this is the actual side of the Cane Weave. Oh, bless you. You're welcome, Linda. So this is the Cane Weave, and you can see, this reminded me, I think I said it last week, that it reminds me of my grandma and little cane wicker chairs, little stools we sat on as kids. But if you turn it over and you use the other side, you get a totally different pattern. So have those side by side. It's nearly like sort of like a chevron-y type. It's nearly like a tyre track. You could be creative with that, but don't forget you have a front and a back side of it. So we're going to put the Tombow on the back of here as well. This card will soon come together because I've already cut the layers. Because it's an uneven surface, I like to make sure I've got good layer of adhesive on there because it's not smooth, so you're only catching on the raised bits. Okay, so we'll pop that one in the middle. There we go. And I think, who have we got else on here? Marilyn, I can't see any comment. I can see you've put a little something on there. Nancy, yeah, it's lovely. Lovely fold, this one. So keep up to date. There we go. Just scratching that over there just to make a good even coverage. So I like when you can get layers in and it starts to look like something very, very quickly. Okay. Hi, Helen. Got engrossed. Oh, with the disallowed goal. You know what? David didn't even know there's football on. And he came in and I said, I dropped my big shot, my cut and emboss plates. They fell out as I carried it to the table. So he came to see what the noise was. So I said, I thought you'd be watching football. I said, who's winning? He said, there's no football tonight. David the football fan, and there's no football tonight. I said, well, there was on my telly because there's no Emmerdale. So yeah, so these are the scallops. I'm going to stick this one down in the inside here straight away, and then we'll soon be on the stamparatus. So then I went through just now to get the leads to plug my devices in, and guess what? He'd switched over from YouTube, watching funnies. I think he said he was watching Jethro, and he was watching the football. Watch on Catchback. That's fine, Angela. You're welcome. You missed the first part of the fold. Okay, Linda. We basically, we have a length of card and we score it in half and then half again. And it can make a variety of cards. So when you pop back, you'll see me make some more of those, I'm sure. But for now, we'll just carry on at the moment. You can always just replay that first bit. So I'm just going to reinforce this crease along here. Once you get so many layers on it, sometimes don't flatten your embossing, but just make that a little bit firmer. I've got an itchy nose. I think I'm in for a surprise. That's what they say, don't they? The old wives' tales. So what we're going to do is, now we've stuck this one in the middle, we know it's lined up. I'm going to place this one on here. Now I just put my finger exactly along the level with the top there. Just hold my nail there and I know it's on the lower portion, and I'm just going to put the Tombow on the back here. Okay, so I'll draw a line down the middle, just under the middle where my thumbnail is. Okay, so I've got a good layering on there, and then I'm going to come back, and because we know that that will line up on here, line up your top pieces, okay, and just press it down. So you're lining two pieces up, one on top of the other. Okay, a little bit squeezed out there, but there we go. And because I've marked where my fingernail, where I held it, there's no adhesive on the back here. Okay, lots of layers there. That's good. So now I'm going to show you the panel for the middle. I've got one to stick down. She said she had them here. She did. They were definitely here. Never mind, I might have to cut that one again. He's disappeared. He's gone for a little walkies. They were all nice and neatly. Okay, let's quickly cut another one. So we're just going to measure what that layer was. You know, I like to have my card beside me. So I'm going to just quick flip this over here and just get those measurements again. So I think it's 6 point white layer. 9.9 and 6.7 I think I need on this one. I'll just get the ruler and check. So we'll soon see. We're just going to go inside those stitches. So 6 point, it's going to be the 6.7 one. So 6.7 and 9.9. Okay, let's cut that. So 6.7, so that's 3 mils under 7, and in the centre, cut that. And then we have 9.9, just the ones, because we've got one panel coming up soon. Okay. So we always check this for size and make sure that we're happy. And obviously that one wasn't the right one. So let's see the longer piece. That's the right width. 6.7, 9.9. I think I cut that short. Hey, trying to be too quick. I probably did 8.9 instead of 9.9. So cut that there. And try that again. That's looking better. And it's just inside those stitching. So that one can come straight down. This is where you'll write your message. So a nice, say, once you've got your layers, it's quite quick to build. So we've got time to show you the others and some technique-y bits. Okay, so that one's on there and that will set. Now the layer on here, I'm going to jump you across to the stamparatus. Please ignore my writing. Stuck on there. Please ignore my layers on here. In fact, I could try and just get that off. When I was doing a WI talk, I actually used some tape and stuck some card on here to tell them what layers to do what with. So if you're doing classes demos, I just put a piece of card there. This was the 4th plate and stamped in soft succulent, so they knew what to do. So that can come off so it doesn't distract you. So this was the panel that we used at the weekend and getting people used to using the Stamparatus. And I had some scallop layers that Michelle cut the ones for the weekend, and I had my hubby busy cutting some for me. So before we went, so that was good. So I've just slotted that in my template. Now with the Stamparatus, you don't want to be, oh, you're off the camera. There we go. You don't want to be right into the corner, okay? Because sometimes when you put that right in there, it's harder against these edges. So I've used a black piece of card here so that people could instantly see where to plop it in. That is a proper word plop, okay, a crafting word. So it's got in that hole there. I'm going to change the colours up for this one. I'm going to use shaded spruce because that was one of the 5 in here. Okay, so along the bottom here, shaded spruce was one of the colours. So we have here the 2 sections from the stamp set. This is the outline image, and then this is the infill piece. So I'm going to stamp this off here. Okay, and then push that across. That's good. And my little puck. We had some interesting conversations about what the heck this was at the show, but that was quite good because it taught them some, showed them some little tips, little Sandra gems. Okay, so this is the open work piece. Now I'm going to move that down slightly. I feel that you're away from my table. Let's just move you both down. There we go. And we're going to place this one on the top here. Again, I've lined this up exactly to be over that image. This is the solid image, which infills. At the weekend, we had them colouring, dragging this colour in. I just wanted to grab a piece of copy paper. I'm sure I had some here somewhere. That piece will do. So I'm just going to take a piece of copy paper, and what we're going to do is we're going to stamp this second generation. So if I bring this down so you could see the plate, and I'm going to stamp this one. Okay, you've got a really strong colour on there. So I'm going to just place that in place, press that down once, take one layer of ink off, and then we're going to place this down on here again. So bring it back up to the camera. And this is going to be infilling the pieces in between. Okay, you can watercolour it. You can use your empty Wink of Stellas that I've taught you how to use. And there we go. There's our little flowers in the right colours that we were using in this suite. Okay, so that just comes out. Take your image out of the template and move it along to the next person. So I'm just going to take those off. We can't stack them with the hinges like this because they won't shut fully. So take that off, upright, make sure that the stamps are downwards and place that on the top. Then they won't get damaged. Pop that out of the way. And this one. And you notice that I'd already laid on my sentiment on here. So the sentiment was in that same, the first image that I did. So that was on there. So you're doing both things at once. It makes a lot quicker. Okay, now if I jump across to the swaps that we did, excuse my eye, I've just got a little bit of, love a good pluck. Not quite sure I get that one. A plop when you just plop it inside something. So these were the swaps that I did at the weekend. This was a design I saw one of my demo colleagues do, and I absolutely loved it. And it hit all the boxes that I wanted to use for the show. So we had the, oh, look at this. The camera's really a bit skewed tonight. Let's move that down. So we did 3 different colours. We used the Hostess papers for the mini catalogue. We did exactly the same as I've just done, except they pulled the colour in with the Wink of Stella and some water, and then they coloured in the flowers as well and then punched them out. So it's very similar. So we're going to use this same panel onto my card. Okay, so it's a lovely idea. I did ask her permission and she was more than happy to let me case her card. So how I'm doing this one, because I already had these shapes lined up and pre-cut, just going to take off these edges just enough to make the layer smaller to go inside. Of course, if you're doing this from scratch, you just get, oh, I can still see the dots along there. You you're doing it from scratch, you would literally just cut your card to size and stamp it, or trim it down afterwards if you need. So this panel was 6.7 by 9.9. So 6.7 this way. A little bit more to come off there. I might need to level it up a little bit the other side. And then 9.9. Again, I might just level it up the other side. So take a little bit more off these edges, just a little shaving off to bring it down. And this one at 9.9. Just so that I didn't get too big a gap at the bottom and not on the top and not the bottom. Okay, so there's our little panel. And if my measurements are right, we should find that this panel will fit inside there, inside the dots. Now, because we've got a lot of bulk here, I'm going to place this on a flat layer and no dimensionals tonight. Okay, the sentiment is neatly already tied in the middle on the front there. Just pick this one up. So I'm kind of using the best of two designs to do a fancy fold with the same design. I love it, Linda. Yes, you have ordered a stamparatus and you will be fine. No, oh, yes, the air hockey puck. Yes, sorry, I'm with you. Yes, this was the air hockey. You can buy these off Amazon. This is the child size, and just stick the felt disc. They give you the felt disc. Just stick it on. You get two in there, so you've got one for you and one for a friend. And give a child the discs to do something with. Most just convert me over to flower cards. I remember you saying that before, Marilyn. We'll see you on your next visit, definitely. So now we're on to the flowers. So flowers are on a scrap of card here. I haven't got my mat out today, but we'll be fine. I'm going to use my notebook here and use that as a little bit of a cushion. Don't really need it, but we'll set off with that one. And I need, excuse my arms, I'm going to need the Mango Melody. Because of the paper I showed you earlier, I'd like to use this colour because I think it's nice and bright and vibrant, and we'll give a splash of colour in here. So we're just going to stamp this up neat for the outside. And remember that our punch is going to, I know that the punch is going to take the big one slightly here to the right. So I'm going to bring this over. Got white on white now, haven't I? That doesn't help you. Okay, so we'll stamp that on there. Got a little bit of cushion from my notebook. Okay, and there's our outlines. Now you could also do this on your stamparatus as well. This is the solid image. And again, like we did with the leaves, we're going to stamp this off. And then we're going to stamp it on here. And I need to get over the top of this one so I can see where the design is coming through. So I'll apologise if I get my head in the way. And I must have glasses for this. I'm sorry, ladies. Can't line up without glasses. So just find a little piece there to line up. Little one on there. Round a bit, round a bit. And I think we're there. Hopefully my head wasn't covering too much. There we go. Floral cards are so good, Marilyn. Oh, I've missed a little bit on there, look. I should have done it on stamparatus. It was great when I did it earlier. So we're going to rectify that by showing you how we correct it. We grab I haven't fully unpacked yet from the show, and I was using the Wink of Stellas and I can't see where they've actually come back. So I'm just going to tap this on the edge of the block here. Okay, and I'll take a water brush because I've got one to hand. Yes, I use my Wink of Stellas all the time. I do really do like them. I've got one with no water in it. Look, that doesn't help. Oh, we might just stamp this again. Find a smaller piece of card and Be quicker in the long run. But I will bring it out of the camera's way so that I get a good image. So while I'm on here, I actually need one small one as well. So in the corner here, I'm just going to do one extra small one just there. Okay, so that's that one. So this one, the punch, as I've said, comes in from the big one to the left, to the right-hand side. So that's kind of the layout that we want. I'm going to stamp this off first, and then I'm going to stick my head down and line these up, but putting even pressure on it. Line that up, take a deep breath. I think I'm there. Down we go, and put even pressure. Of course, you could, if you're going to do this on mass production, you could do this on the Stamparatus as well. Okay, and I didn't stamp it off, did I? But we're going to go with that one tonight. Just do the little one. I'm conscious I don't want to keep you too long. Stamp that one off. The thing is, when the stamps get a little bit stained as well. There we go, that's fine. I like that one. When they get a little bit stained, you can't see through them so well. So then we go for our punch, and we're going to punch these three out. Okay, lining those up. If you roughly line them up, I was showing Linda this yesterday, wasn't I? Right, line them up in position. Okay, then if you just grip it very, very slightly with one thumb, it's not going to fall out. Have a good look at it, make sure you're happy. Then both thumbs on here and then squeeze. Okay, and in this case, we're just going to use one more little one around the corner here. The second generation is better because you get the two-tone effect. Okay, and one little one there. There we go. Get rid of my notebook and the scrap. There we go. Now, my design for doing these flowers is by putting them in my knuckle, my palm, sorry, and using my knuckle to shape them. So literally just shape it in there, just give it some bend. Okay, if you've got a ball tool and a mat, you could do that, but really this is so quick because you've got the tools ready on the ends of your arms. Okay, so that's just giving them the shape. And now we're going to go back to the Tombow. I'm going to place the big one at the top and then the smaller ones round it. I hope you can still see that, yep. Oh, your colleague loved her birthday card. I'm so pleased, Linda. Linda got to make one of these swaps up yesterday when she was here sorting her order out with me. So I'm placing that there, and then I get an old Tombow. So I've got one in action, and just press that on the middle. Okay, and just press down on that Tombow, and then it's keeping that rounded shape, and it's not flattening it. Okay, then this one's coming on. And then this one I put over, did it slightly different on these. I went this one to the left. You can see how that just gives it a pop of colour. Another piece of the middle there. Okay, and just press on there. Rock it round a little bit. Then we're going to have one of these down the bottom, and one's going to go on another little embellishment shortly. So just tuck it under there to fill the gap. Hold it in place and round it. Okay. There we go. We need this one slightly in a minute. So I'm going to just tell you I've pre-cut 2 dies here from the Stylish Shapes? Layering Circles dies in here. So these are an old set. They have the newer set is in the proper labelling. But in here you can see that I use these a lot. And I've used one of the little scallop ones. And I've used one of the inner pieces off there. Okay, they need to have they are on magnet, that's okay. So I stick these together and just some Tombow in the centre. And then again, I put the embossing folder through this. Like so. And then this one is just going to have that in the middle. Just on there. Now to get the correct spacing on this one, for the catch at the top, I have taken 2 dimensionals under here. So I'm going to lay these exactly at the top here where this card is going to go. This circle is going to go on here to form a little latch for it to clip under. So find the centre, roughly the centre, and then you're going to go one on the right and one on the left of the centre. Okay, one there and one there. Okay, take those backs off. Okay, and then this is going to place over the top. So you're going to just have this not going over the top. You're just going to have it level with the top. Okay, and just press that down. So I'll probably use the Tombow again to press on it so that I don't flatten the flower. Okay, and there we have it. I'm just going to put the gems on next. So the gems for this one are, this set, are the Milky Dots. So adhesive backed Milky Dots. So I've used the navy ones to bring the navy colour back as a pop. So we have got 3 different sizes. I'm going to lay the big one on the largest flower and a couple of the little ones over here. Okay, oops, a daisy. And that. And on there. And then we'll pop one up the top there as well. I love these colours. They are really, really lovely. They've got 4 different colours on there. Really nice and tasty. For my little embellishment with the ribbon, this is the, again, the ribbon from the suite. So this is the bordered ribbon, and that's in Night of Navy. So I'm just going to, on the roll here, I'm just going to tie a little knot. They are a lovely combo together, aren't they? I love the Mango Melody, and it's a great one to put with it, so it's really good. Just tying a little knot here, just half, not even a bow, just a knot. Okay, when you want a small piece of ribbon and you don't really want to overpower a busy card, so it's on the roll so you waste less. I'm just going to level up those edges that have just started to fray a little bit, and then do the same this side, going parallel the same way. Okay, then we want glue dots. So on the inside of the roll here, find the first available glue dot, and then whichever side is the best side of your ribbon. I think that's the raised bit, so I'm going to use the black back on here and just press that down onto the glue dots. Now demos doing kits can literally line things up on here. I'll do it long ways on, but if you're going to put a kit and put a couple of bows in there, you can actually just put that strip in and tear it off for attendees. So I'm just going to pop that across the corner there. Just wanted a little bit more of the dark coming through. You can see I've got an orange knuckle now. I've been massaging that. So here we're literally popping this underneath. There's where we're going to write our greeting. Okay, so there's your card, your finished card, and then this is coming underneath here. Okay, so it can stand up like so. Okay, so it stands as a triangle here. Okay, so it's under there, and you've got your greeting on here. If you didn't want to stamp it at the same time, you could do that as a separate embellishment, of course. Okay, so there's that card. I'll just bring these ones back just to show you what the swaps were. There's 3 different colours in there. So you've got a fancy fold from tonight, and then these ones just had a strip of paper behind them, all done with the same kind of layout. Really lovely suite. I love it to pieces. So, and I've been using it quite a bit. But I promise I've got some new things coming up for you. And I don't know what we'll do on Sunday yet. We have had a couple of requests. I'll see if I can build those in. But I do need to, I've lent one of my new sets to one of my team. And I'll be seeing her tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. What day of the week are we? I forget what day of the week we're on. We're Wednesday today, aren't we? I think I'm seeing her on Friday. Yes, Friday. So I'll get that set back. So I'll be in time for Sunday. So I can bring you that on Sunday. Okay, I will bring you back onto me. Take this off. Bring you over there. Oh, bless you. Lots of lovely comments there. Thank you so much. Yes, they do really pop. That makes it really, really lovely. So this is in the mini catalogue. It's on page, it's this catalogue. It's going to finish at the end of April, and it's on page 30. Oh, you can't see. Sorry, ladies. So it's on page 30 here, this side. Some lovely samples in there, and then page 31 is the product, and then it goes over to, there's 2 stamp sets over the page. So you've got the die bundle there, and then you've got the punch bundle here. Punch bundles are always cheaper. That's 36 for that bundle, and the die bundle is 49.50. Okay, it's really nice set, and the more you see things, you've got more ideas, so it's going to help you choose. Okay, so as always, thanks again for joining me. Excellent, Carol. I'll be looking you up to see what you've done with it. It's lovely to share ideas on here. It's really nice. So yeah, always look for other people using the same products. It's a real pop of colour on there. You wouldn't believe, but this was actually the same one, but watercoloured. So the little one in the note cards. So you've got quite a contrast there. So that's all from me for tonight. I'll be back on Wednesday. Take care. I will be putting the new host code up. I haven't had a chance to do that yet. That's my next job. So the new host code for the month of March, and also to tell you about the online exclusive that started today. So look out for those coming up in a little while.